I just want to take a pause here because we're about to enter a really
deep realm.
deep realm, and we got to switch on here. All right, so Netflix show, what's it called?
Filthy
Jeffrey
Rich.
Epstein, Filthy Rich. Really intense show.
Confronting stuff.
There's 4 episodes, an hour long. If you haven't watched it, would we recommend people to watch it?
If you're mentally strong, because you will get uncomfortable, guaranteed.
Yeah.
If you don't get uncomfortable, that's why.
It's definitely uncomfortable, but I think it's a story that you need to be aware of.
It's confronting.
It's confronting, definitely. But I feel like it's obviously the story needs to get out for people to be aware of this sort of thing. So that's why I'd recommend people to watch it. But yeah, just obviously beware. It's quite confronting. But anyway, do you want to recap like the first couple episodes, and then we'll get into the other side of it?
Yeah, so I've only seen episode 1. So
Yeah.
you guys will have to do the rest. But
Yeah.
in the first episode, they sort of interview like his victims of some of the girls that.
Or should we give it background information to who he is and stuff?
Yeah, so he sort of in like the 80s, 90s, he was like this big sort of financial advisor, financial manager for billionaires in New York. So like he'd manage their money and obviously make a lot of money himself. And he was sort of this like underground guy where he's always with famous people, he's always at big
Nobody
events.
knows who the hell he is.
Exactly, no one knows who he is. So then people started to like investigate, and they're like, oh, like who is this guy? We want to try and not like being nosy, but just like
Who is he?
learning who he is. Like the magazines doing.
Yeah,
like,
because no one knew like who is this guy? How is he a billionaire? No one even knows how
How's
he
he
gets
mates with Trump?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like how does he get his money? That's
Exactly.
people didn't know.
So they started looking into him, and then while they did that, they found that he would like invite young teenage girls. Like I think the youngest they showed was 13 or 14, up to 17. Would like come to his house and like give him massages, and he'd like sexually abuse them and stuff,
Yeah.
which is very confronting.
Yeah, there was like one phrase. I'm just gonna say it if you can't just edit it out.
Yeah, I'll just edit it.
Like one of the girls said and she said it like so freely, which probably shows how much he did it. He's like, when we finished oral, he told me to jump on him. I was like, what the fuck? Like, oh, that was just so strange.
It's very gross. Like it made me feel dirty watching it.
Yeah, that's
Like,
exactly right.
I can't imagine how it made them feel.
Yeah, and like the fact they had to, like the fact they did it, and then he would just get rid of them. Like
Yeah.
he doesn't care about who they are. Like they had to live with that for the rest of his life, the rest of their life, whereas he doesn't even know who they are. Like you know what I mean?
Like there was one girl, like he'd get them in and say, I'd like to see you again and stuff like that. And that if they came back, obviously he'd do it again to them. But then if they didn't, it was like, oh yeah, no fuss. Like I've got others, sort of thing. Like it's
He told the girls that he brought in,
Bring him back.
if they brought other people, they'd receive $200 for every person they brought, and that's how pretty much he branched out to these hundreds of girls who he abused, because he obviously targeted the vulnerable.
Yeah.
So the people who are poor and like really were desperate for the money, obviously at that age, like you're not gonna think about it. Like you just see money, rich guy offering you money,
They
you're gonna
also
take
didn't
it.
know about the abuse. It was just
Exactly.
like their friends would go to school and say, oh, like you can go massage this old guy and get $200.
Exactly. Like when you're that age and you're poor, you're obviously gonna
$200
take.
is a lot of money.
I tell you what's worrying: the fact that his wife was in on it and wasn't disturbed by it.
Yeah, she was just as bad as
Helping,
him.
yeah.
What was
She
her name?
abused them as well.
Ghislaine Maxwell.
Maxwell.
Ghislaine Maxwell. Yeah, she was a bloody psycho.
Yeah.
The fact that like she was running it with him is just insane.
Yeah. But that was the first episode. I don't know
Yeah.
what happens. for the
So
rest.
yeah, the first episode they pretty much they
first
introduced
two
the
are like that.
victims and like introduced what he would do to them, which was disgusting. And then the second episode is when they started pretty much the investigation. So these girls would like report it to the police and whatnot, but the police couldn't do anything. Like, he is that powerful and had that much money. Like, what are the police going to do? They needed to go higher up. They needed to go to the FBI. And
He would have had connections in the police anyway.
definitely.
Yeah.
He lived in this Palm
Palm Beach.
Palm Beach in Florida, which is like this really isolated area for rich people.
Yeah.
There was like two different sides of it.
Yeah.
It's like West Palm Beach was sort of like the poor, not really slums, but like working class,
Yeah.
sort of paycheck to paycheck sort of families. And then you cross the bridge to Palm Beach and it's all mansions and rich people.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, they were having issues with the police department not being able to do anything because he was so powerful, pretty much.
Yeah.
They reported it to the FBI, and then the big like story was that the FBI made a secret deal with Epstein and his lawyers, who obviously Epstein's lawyers were the best in the country,
Yeah.
and he had a whole team that was like made him unstoppable. They organized a deal with the government and the court that pretty much bought him out of all his offences, and he was free again. And then the police department, like not the police department, like the people who were like representing the victims were like, what the hell, like what's going on? They didn't even know that this deal was happening.
Yeah.
That he pretty much just bought himself out of trouble, and there was nothing they could do about it. He was too powerful, had too much money, and yeah, they just had to suck it up for that time. And then yeah, what happened after that? They did the deal,
Yeah.
so he was free again. And then that's when they started talking about his island. So he had an island in the Caribbean, his own personal island, and they pretty much, him and a lot of other powerful people, such as Donald Trump, Bill Clinton,
Matt Groening.
who?
Matt Groening.
Yeah, like
Prince Andrew,
Prince Andrew, yeah.
Harvey Weinstein, and Kevin Spacey.
Yeah.
Were also like convicted sexual assailants,
Yeah.
sex abusers.
All these people would go to this island and literally just sexually abuse these girls. Like, they would bring the girls to the island. It was just like disgusting the way they did that. And then pretty much that's where the worst stuff happened on that island. And then a few years, I think it was like 2018, I think it was, when the new case got brought up. So it was like 2009 when he made that secret deal with the FBI, and then he was just let loose.
Yep.
2016-17, I think it was, is when the new case got brought up. It was pretty much that, I'm pretty sure, I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was that the police department or whatever it was, New York Police Department or something, filed a new case saying how it was wrong that they did a secret deal without anyone knowing. You know, this brought up this whole new case. Pretty much the thing that got him into jail was that so many victims came out and said, I've been sexually abused by Jeffrey Epstein, and like there was so many people, and it was really powerful that the judge said, all right, life in prison for you.
And
Yeah.
since then, he's committed suicide in prison.
Yeah, yeah, he committed suicide not long after he got sentenced in.
I think a month he was in jail.
Yeah,
I don't know if he even got sentenced. It might have been while he was like awaiting his sentencing, he committed suicide. But
Could have
there is
been.
this whole conspiracy about whether he committed suicide, supposedly, because it's very suspicious. Because he's meant to be in maximum security, but at the same time, both the guards, because there's two guards at his jail cell, they both left. The two cameras pointing in his jail cell were turned off,
yeah, coincidentally.
and then he was just found dead.
Yeah,
So they reckon there's a chance that it might have been a murder sort of orchestrated by these other high profile celebrities, like the ones that you just mentioned at the island. so that he wouldn't
Rat
rat them out
Yeah.
in exchange for a lighter sentence or whatever
Exactly.
and expose them.
And do you remember the autopsy scene in the documentary?
Yeah.
So they did an autopsy, and then this guy, really experienced person who does the autopsy, said he's what? Do you remember what bone it was? It was some like
Yeah.
thoracic bone, I think it was, like it's in your throat. He said it is pretty much impossible for it to be a suicide because they said he choked himself with his bed sheet. He said it's pretty much impossible with the fractures he had to his thoracic bone that it could have been a suicide.
That's in a lot of cases where it's like suspected suicide, but they find out it's a murder. That's how they find out. Like the neck injuries and stuff. Yeah, when they do the autopsy, the neck injuries aren't consistent with like hanging yourself. It's more like you're being strangled.
You need like a really strong stomach to do that job.
Mm.
Oh yeah.
Ridiculously
horrible.
strong stomach.
Yeah. So yeah, the conspiracy, like you said, why? When I first watched, I struggled to realize why they would kill him, but I think I understand now. It's because like you said, they didn't want Jeffrey Epstein to rat them out.
Yeah.
Which is so dodgy because like
It just makes them seem so guilty. Just
Donald
does.
Trump, Bill Clinton, former or current and former presidents of the United States, arguably the most powerful people in the world.
Prince Andrew in the British royal family.
The fact they even are associated with that.
Yeah.
Like, and did you see how as soon as he got sentenced to jail and they interviewed Donald Trump and when he was in president, they'd be like, oh, no, we had a fallout a long time ago. 15 years ago, I haven't spoken to him since.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, mate.
Canadian.
So coincidental that you've had a fallout with him as soon as he's gone into jail.
That only comes out after he's
Shocker.
But yeah, the Prince Andrew one's interesting as well because he did an interview saying, so basically there was this Australian, she wasn't Australian, she was American, she married an Australian guy. She's a victim of Jeffrey Epstein. Anyway, she moved to Australia to escape pretty much. And Jeffrey Epstein brought her pretty much to, what's his name? Prince Andrew. And he abused her. Like, that's what she claims. She claims that he sexually abused her and raped her. Prince Andrew did this interview on national television in the UK, literally saying, like, I don't even know who this woman is. And then the reporter shows a photo of the girl and him, and then he goes, I don't remember that. Like, I don't remember this photo, so I don't know how to explain it. It's like, mate, how can you deny not knowing her and not having anything to do with her when there's a photo of you standing with your arm around her, like around her waist? It's like, it just baffles me, mate.